Hello and welcome again. You can see it is work as usual at the farm. I have with me Noor Muhammad. He's helping me with the video. I have with me Davinder, who is doing most of the videos. And in the middle of all this, I will be reading to you from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. I read 23 verses in the last week. I will read today from the 24th verse onwards. Thank you. Alike for those who for today prepare, and those that after a tomorrow stare, a muezzin from the tower of darkness cries, "Fools, your reward is neither here nor there." Why, all the saints and sages who discussed of the two worlds so learnedly are thrust like foolish prophets forth, their words to scorn are scattered, and their mouths are stopped with dust. Oh, come with old Khayyam, and leave the wise to talk. One thing is certain, that life flies. One thing is certain, and the rest is lies. The flower that once has blown forever dies. Myself when young did eagerly frequent doctor and saint, and heard great argument about it and about, but evermore came out by the same door as in I went. With them the seed of wisdom did I sow, and with my own hand laboured it to grow. And this was all the harvest that I reaped. I came like water, and like wind I go. Into this universe, and why, not knowing, nor whence, like water willy-nilly flowing. And out of it, as wind along the waste, I know not whither, willy-nilly blowing. What, without asking, hither hurried whence? And without asking, whither hurried hence? Another and another cup to drown the memory of this impertinence. Up from earth's centre through the seventh gate I rose, and on the throne of Saturn sate, and many knots unravelled by the road, but not the knot of human death and fate. There was a door to which I found no key. There was a veil past which I could not see. Some little talk awhile of me and thee there seemed, and then no more of thee and me. Then to the rolling heaven itself I cried, asking, what lamp had destiny to guide her little children stumbling in the dark? And a blind understanding, heaven replied. Then to this earthen bowl did I adjourn, my lip the secret well of life to learn, and lip to lip it murmured, while you live, drink, for once dead you shall never return. I think the vessel that with fugitive articulation answered once did live, and merry make. And the cold lip I kissed, how many kisses might it take and give? For in the market-place one dusk of day I watched the porter thumping his wet clay, and with its all obliterated tongue it murmured, "Gently, brother, gently, pray." One moment in annihilation's waste, one moment of the well of life to taste. The stars are setting, and the caravan starts for the dawn of nothing. Oh, make haste! Ah, fill the cup. What boots it to repeat how time is slipping underneath our feet? Unborn tomorrow and dead yesterday, why fret about them if today be sweet? How long, in infinite pursuit of this and that endeavor and dispute? Better be merry with the fruitful grape than sadden after none or bitter fruit. You know, my friends, how long since in my house for a new marriage I did make carouse? Divorced old Baron Reason from my bed, and took the daughter of the vine to spouse. For is and is not, though with rule and line, and up and down without I could define, I yet in all I cared to know was never deep in anything but wine. And lately, by the tavern door agape, came stealing through the dusk an angel shape, bearing a vessel on his shoulder, and he bid me taste of it. And 'twas the grape. The grape that can with logic absolute the 72 jarring sects confute. The subtle alchemist that in a trice life's leaden metal into gold transmute. The mighty Mahmud, the victorious Lord, that all the misbelieving and black horde of fears and sorrows that infest the soul scatters and slays with his enchanted sword. But leave the wise to wrangle, and with me the quarrel of the universe let be, and in some corner of the hubbub couch, make game of that which makes as much of thee. For in and out, above, about, below, 'tis nothing but a magic shadow show, played in a box whose candle is the sun, round which we phantom figures come and go. And if the wine you drink, the lip you press, and in the nothing all things end in, yes, then fancy while thou art but what thou shalt be, nothing, thou shalt not be less. While the rose blows along the river brink, with old Khayyam the ruby vintage drink, and when the angel with his darker draught draws up to thee, take that and do not shrink. 'Tis all a checkerboard of nights and days, where destiny with men for pieces plays, hither and thither moves and mates and slays, and one by one back in the closet lays. The ball no question makes of eyes and nose, but right or left as strikes the player goes. And he that tossed thee down into the field, he knows about it all. He knows. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. Nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash out a word of it. And that inverted bowl we call the sky, whereunder crawling cooped we live and die, lift not thy hands to it for help, for it rolls impotently on as thou or I. With earth's first clay they did the last man's need, and then of the last harvest sowed the seed. Yea, the first morning of creation wrote what the last dawn of reckoning shall read. I tell thee this, when, starting from the goal, over the shoulders of the flaming foal of heaven, Parveen and Mushtari they flung, in my predestined plot of dust and soul. The vine had struck a fibre, which about it clings my being. Let the Sufi flout. Of my base metal may be filed a key that shall unlock the door he howls without. And this I know, whether the one true light kindle to love or wrath consume me quite, one glimpse of it within the tavern court, better than in the temple lost outright. O thou who didst with pitfall and with gin beset the road I was to wander in, thou wilt not with predestination round enmesh me and impute my fall to sin? O thou who man of baser earth didst make, and who with Eden didst devise the snake, for all the sin wherewith the face of man is blackened, man's forgiveness give and take. Thank you.